Hello you beautiful creamers. The first 5 minutes of the podcast will have no swears. The boys are attempting to fool the YouTube algorithm. It will seem censored at first, but not to fret. It's just for the first few minutes you bitch-ass, stupid motherfucking f***s. Enjoyed the show.
Beautiful. That's what we like to hear on a Sunday morning. Yeah, should be Gucci now, baby. Baby. So I was thinking I'm going to do the intro like as fast as possible, like an auctioneer, you know, because I kind of do it every week, so I kind of have it memorized.
Okay.
That's 4 snaps for you, baby.
It's Sunday again.
Oh, yeah.
It's Sunday, bitch. Yeah.
Getting that cream.
I want the cream. Give daddy that cream.
Getting that cream. Getting that cream.
Brace yourself for the cream.
Hey there, friends. Welcome to another episode of CPS. My name is Josh. With me as well, my good friend Rick. Rick, how you doing today? How was that? That little too...
I'm feeling creamy. Yeah, you want to do that? Like, you want to do it one more time, and then we'll just roll right into it?
Hey there, friends. Welcome to another episode of CPS. My name is Josh. With me as well, my good friend Rick. Rick, how you doing today, buddy?
Feeling creamy, J-Man.
Jeez.
There we go. I was trying to think as you were rattling that off. I'm like, how the hell do I capitalize on this? And I decided not to. I did that instead.
That's the best. That's as fast as I can do the intro.
That's pretty good, man. You practice that?
No, it's just like memorized because I do it every week. So
yeah, that's true.
It's just in the old noggin. Yeah. Man, I'm good. I'm ready to go. I just ate my Wheaties. You know, not really.
What kind of milk?
No, I didn't really eat Wheaties. But man, isn't that crazy? Wheaties. I was just saying to you, texting you before the pod. What people used to eat Wheaties, and they used to think it was like the healthiest breakfast you could have. Turns out it's just wheat and milk. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm a big rice guy, and I feel like rice isn't the best for. I mean, it's pretty just straight across boring.
Yeah, it's also just carbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess some people need carbs. I don't know, man. It's funny because they put the athlete on the box, and they're like, you know, a champion's breakfast or whatever, the breakfast of champions, the Wheaties thing. Yeah.
I think we should just get right into it because we both know why we're here this week. The Justin Roiland being cleared of all charges, and he is ready to return to his rightful holder as the leader of the free world. So welcome back, Justin. We appreciate you, and we're looking forward to your dictatorship.
We actually have him on the phone, Justin. No, just kidding. Yeah, dude, what do you think about that?
What's up, Josh? What's up, Josh and Rick? How you guys doing?
That actually was not bad.
I don't know what accent that was. That was just, I don't know.
Yeah, so acquitted. The case is dismissed. That's crazy. Yeah, we were saying from the beginning, man. It's kind of f***ed up that they're doing all this to this guy before they even know the result. And
I mean, he even he put out that post, and he was basically he's like just the fact that we live in a cancer culture, people want to jump on the bandwagon to get me and my life ruined, and it's like they don't understand everything. But that's just human nature, dude. Like people like jump to conclusions. Mm-hmm. I mean, back in the day, like when we used to like hang people in like the town square. Yeah. Like I bet a lot of those folks probably didn't deserve that, you know?
No, I don't. Yeah, probably the majority of them. Yeah,
we haven't come very far.
No, I mean it's kind of human nature to want to all target, make one person the enemy, I guess. And then it's always like when somebody gets charged with a crime, or I don't know what the terminology is for crimes, but when somebody gets accused of a crime, you always kind of tend to think they're guilty more than you think that they're innocent, you know?
Yeah.
Like if a guy gets accused of murder, it's like, oh, well, he did it, obviously. I think the whole thing is to try and convince the jury that he's innocent rather than the other way around, you know?
Yeah, I mean, even the whole like innocent until proven guilty kind of deal. But I mean, even that kind of sets up the precedents for like, I don't know. I mean, like if somebody gets acquitted, for like murder or whatever, you just like assume like, oh, did you hear what he did? Yeah. But I mean, that ruins people's lives, dude. Like even like, say there's like a rape case or something like in college and some chick like sets you up and then all of a sudden you get screwed over and in the end, like you get cleared and nothing really happened and your record's clean. You still have that reputation of like, well, that's the case guy. It's like, Jesus, dude. Yeah, it's like something you have to wear for the rest of your life. I mean, it really messes you up. Not that this would pop up, but like imagine you're in like a job interview and be like, oh, we see here that you had a court thing back in 2018. He's like,
we made it. We hit the 5-minute mark, you fucking cunts. Enjoyed the rest of the fucking podcast. Censor free and shit for your bitch ass. Cream it up.
Yeah, that was for rape. That didn't really, that wasn't really a thing. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. We're going to
Yeah.
put you at the top of our applicants.
Yeah,
Jesus. I see a gap in your work history. Where were you for 9 to 12 months? Well,
Well, funny
okay.
story.
I was high on bath salts and the mailman came a little too close to me. And,
Yeah.
well, actually, he was in his truck. I ran out to him, but whatever. That's not what I told the judge.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, dude, Justin Roiland back. I wonder if he's going to go back to Rick and Morty. Here's the other thing, too. Nobody's going to know that he was acquitted unless they're actually into the story and or they happen to see it. A majority of people that heard that he was accused of that crime are just going to assume that he's the guy that did that crime now forever. So it's kind of like his reputation's just ruined. So I wonder if they're going to let him back on Rick and Morty or if he even wants to go back or what the deal is.
I don't know, but so say he does go back, because obviously I think they would welcome him back with open arms. But I think do you think? So what? I don't even know what season they're on now. Are they on season 6 or 7 or something?
I can't keep track. I think so.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
So imagine imagine the next round of episodes and seasons comes out, and then it's basically the first one since this whole thing, and just the beginning of the episode is well, I'm back, bitches. like one of those statements.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Bring attention to it, but don't deliberately say it, or somewhere have a
I'm
little
back, Morty.
jab at the situation.
You know, Morty, the thing is, you gotta understand, Morty. Some people just jump to conclusions, Morty. And that's the thing about it. But I'm back, baby. Something like that'd be cool.
Yeah, so the whole episode is just Morty going through the same shit. And then he gets acquitted in the end.
That'll be funny. Yeah, we'll see, man.
Yo, remember the King Jellybean episode where he goes to the bathroom?
Yeah.
And the Jellybean just tries to rape him in the bathroom? That
Yeah.
is so graphic, dude.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible.
It makes you uncomfortable to watch it. I feel it's deeply dark and funny, but it's almost hard to watch, dude.
It's rough. And then the king at the end is all beat up for some reason, the Jellybean King. Yeah. And he's
and then
on
he tells
his throne.
Rick, and Rick just snipes him or something.
Yeah. And then there's a whole deeper meaning where they have the statue of him.
Yeah.
In the town, the big jelly bean, and they're well, it's not necessarily the person, it's what they represent. It's what the statue represents. It's not the real guy. It's the idea of the guy,
I remember the first episode I ever saw. It was when you were living in Concord, and you pulled up the one where there's the virus in the house, and it keeps cloning itself, and making people think that it's in its memories. So and then you go into a flashback, and then another thing will show up.
Yeah,
that was the first episode I ever saw. So I had no idea who the real characters were, at all.
Yeah.
So Mr. Poopy Butthole, I was okay, well, he's gonna die off, and at the very end, he turns out to be the real one. But for me, that was the biggest I have no idea what's going on here, dude.
Yeah, you didn't know the sleepy guy with the nightcap on.
What was that guy's sleepy?
I don't know, but he has a love affair with Jerry, right?
It was something in Jerry, yeah.
Yeah.
Sleepy Tom? I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, that's a wild show, man. That's me and my brother have been able to bond over that show quite a bit. That in South Park, that's kind of our little niche,
Yeah, dude. It's great. It's a great show. And I hope he comes back, because if they keep making new episodes, and the voices are different, it's not gonna be the same.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, even Solar Opposites, that's a couple seasons in now. I mean, they just put out a couple specials. I think there was a Christmas special, or I don't even remember what it was, but
dude,
he's cranking out content, man.
Yeah. Yo, I want to say, so speaking of people and their redemption and coming back, you see Mr. Kanye West is back on the Jew train now.
Yeah, can you please go into this? I want to hear what you saw.
Dude, he posted to Instagram yesterday that a picture of 21 Jump Street, the movie with Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
And he says, watching Jonah Hill and 21 Jump Street made me like Jewish people again. No one should take anger against one or two individuals and transform that hatred into millions of innocent people. No Christian can be labeled anti-Semite knowing Jesus is Jew. Thank you, Jonah Hill. I love you.
I read that exactly yesterday. I almost screenshotted it because I knew it would be deleted at some point. But yeah, I saw that and I was I think I burst out laughing. I responded just like how you brought it up, dude. I just started laughing.
What the fuck? So that's all it takes, dude. That's all it takes is a comedy movie with Jonah Hill. By the way, not even a practicing Orthodox Jew or anything crazy. He just was brought up Jewish, I think. He's not like known as a Jewish guy, but he's like, nobody thinks of Jonah Hill as like Jew, you know? It's not like he's major Jew or anything, but that's all it takes is watching a comedy movie with a Jewish guy in quotes, and now he's back. He loves Jews again.
I mean, why is he bringing up a movie from 10 years ago? Like, is tomorrow he's going to like tweet like a quote from like Passion of the Christ and he's going to be like, never mind.
That's a good point. What? Yeah. Out of all the movies, like a mediocre comedy movie from a decade ago. Like not even like.
I can probably guarantee that they don't bring up that he's Jewish once in that whole movie.
No. No,
Jesus.
He doesn't play a Jew. He plays a guy that goes undercover at a high school. It's crazy. But I think Jonah Hill himself was raised Jewish. So that's what he's saying. So he's saying, well, you know what? He's pretty funny in this comedy movie from 10 years ago, and he was Jewish, so I love Jews again. That's how his brain works. That's cool. I was saying, I'm like, man, it's too bad like 21 Jump Street wasn't a silent film back in the Charlie Chaplin era. We could have avoided World War II if we just showed Germany that movie. You know?
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, totally. Hey, Jews not so bad. It's funny.
Jews not bad.
Jews not bad. That's a funny movie. Yep.
All right. Well, I guess we're getting canceled for that one. So on to the next one.
On to the next cancellation topic. Christ. Dude, speaking of, so I was watching a movie, what were we watching yesterday? Quentin Tarantino. We watched Pulp Fiction and we watched a little bit of Reservoir Dogs. And
oh, hell yeah.
We had the subtitles on. I like watching movies with subtitles. Like Lita turned me on to that, and I kind of like it better now because you actually get the full dialogue. Because sometimes you'll miss a word or two, you know?
Yeah.
And John Travolta in the movie says, hey man, I got gypped with a milkshake or whatever, because it's expensive milkshake. He's like, what a gyp. And I noticed they spelled it G-Y-P. I didn't know that's how you spelled gyp. I thought it was J-I-P, right? And then I started thinking, and I looked it up. Gyp comes from gypsies, dude. It's like, oh, I just got screwed out of a deal from a gypsy. I got gypsied out of this deal. Like, I got gypped. Did you know that?
Not at all.
That's racist as fuck. Isn't
it? Wow. I don't know, man. I guess I never thought. I mean, I notice that all the time, actually, like, especially with subtitles where something pops up and it's like, wow, I've been spelling that wrong for the last 30 years. Like, I had no idea.
I didn't know gyp was short for gypsy, dude. That's wild.
Yeah. So you didn't make it all the way through Reservoir Dogs?
No, we got like the first half or whatever. It's not as I like it, but Lita, you know.
It's basically all the same shit. I mean, obviously the story progresses and stuff, but
yeah.
I mean, basically within the first half hour, you're going to see all the scenes you're going to see just with different angles and different people. I mean, the whole thing is shot in that warehouse, basically.
Basically, yeah. I like the dialogue a lot in those movies, but you know, it's not as exciting of a movie as Pulp Fiction, I guess.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction is yeah, that's a train ride. That's a good one.
Yeah, for sure.
Me and Emily actually watched The Whale on Friday.
No shit. Don't no spoilers. I still got to see that big bitch.
I will give no spoilers, but so we were going to go watch it at the college that's in Keene, and we were going to do that, but then I had a bad day, so I just want to stay home. So we actually pulled it up on Amazon Prime for like $5, dude. You can watch it.
What? Now you can watch it for $5?
Or $5, yeah.
Oh, dude, we're watching that later tonight.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So, but yeah, so I won't give any details or anything, but I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was
well, he won, didn't he? He won the Oscar?
Yeah, for best lead actor. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
did you watch his acceptance speech at all?
No, I didn't watch any of the Oscars. I'm like, fuck that noise. I don't care.
So Emily she's like, pull it up and we'll watch it. And he's kind of very emotional. So I was like, okay, so he's going to be a little emotional during this. I watch it. It's 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
He's just kind of up there and it's just like his heart is racing way faster than it should. And he's like really nervous and his hands are probably really sweaty. And
yeah, I
mean, I know it's like a big moment for him, but he's up there and he's just so uncomfortable. He's looking around and I'm just waiting for him to like pass out. He was like, like
it's weird.
Getting up on stage is like the worst thing that could have happened to him. I mean, obviously he's very, excited to have it and all that stuff, but he just looks so uncomfortable, dude, because that's where he was 20 years ago, and now he's just this is like he fell from grace and came back, and I don't know, it's just kind of wild.
Yeah, he got like blacklisted or something from Hollywood for some reason. I forget what the whole rumor is, but there's a reason why he just fell off and stopped being in movies. I don't know what it was.
Emily said that he got sexually assaulted and he brought it up, and then Hollywood kind of blacklisted him because guys don't do that at the time.
Yeah, see, that sucks. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Who'd he get sexually assaulted by? Fucking somebody in The Mummy or something? The Mummy like raped him or something?
The Mummy was diddling him in between takes.
Hey guys, I don't know if I'm cool with the Mummy. Mummy has his pants down in the dressing room. But
dude, I told you not to do that.
Man, George of the Jungle was good too. What else was he in? He was in Airheads with Adam Sandler.
He was in, dude, that is such an underrated movie.
Airheads.
The fact that I never saw that at all on TV, like growing up, like why that wasn't on Comedy Central or MTV kind of blows my mind.
It's a classic. Dude, a rock band takes a radio station hostage to play their demo tape with fake guns filled with hot sauce. And it's Brendan Fraser and Steve Buscemi and Adam Sandler. It's Steve Buscemi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like, I think that came out in 94.
Mm-hmm.
Even you ever see Encino Man with
oh yeah,
Sam from Stranger Things?
Yep.
Or no, Sam from Lord of the Rings?
Yeah. I know what you meant. Yeah. That's great.
I never remember his name, but yeah, that's another great film with Pauly Shore and shit.
Yeah. I was talking to Lita because Rogan's new club, I've been following it on Instagram, the Comedy Mothership. I don't know if you follow Rogan or what he's doing or whatever, but he just opened a comedy club.
Yeah.
And it looks sick, dude. So he named the two rooms Fat Man and Little Boy. Because there's a big room and a little room, like after the nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
That's when we started seeing a lot of UFOs. And he has this bar downstairs that's called Mitzi's. And do you know who Mitzi Shore is?
No.
So Mitzi Shore is a very important figure in comedy, and she actually owned the Comedy Store in LA, which is one of the, world-class comedy clubs. Probably one of the best, if not the best comedy club. Not anymore, but it was, There's the 70s and the 90s and like even a few years ago when Rogan was over there. But he named the downstairs bar Mitzi's in his new comedy club, and that's Mitzi Shore, and that's actually Pauly Shore's mom.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm, yeah. So that he kind of had an in with the show business thing. That's where he came from.
Yeah, because I had heard him, at least I've heard the word Mitzi from Joe Rogan. He was talking about it at some point, something I was listening to, but yeah, I kind of forgot the whole story. But yeah, is that down in Austin, Texas?
Yeah. He opened it in Austin, downtown Austin.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, actually, if you go to, I think it's Comedy Mothership, their Instagram page, there's a whole drone shot narrated by Bill Burr of a drone flying down to the comedy, to the Mothership Comedy Club, and like it goes in both of the rooms and like shows you Mitzi's, the bar and everything, and you can see the whole setup. It's really cool looking.
Huh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. It says hecklers will be alienated on like this sign on the wall. Yeah. It's cool. It's very Rogan. If you listen to Rogan, you could tell like it's his shtick, his deal,
It's kind of wild because like as big as Joe Rogan is now compared to, I mean, I feel like every day he gets bigger and bigger, but
yeah,
I think in the next 10 years, I think he's really going to explode even bigger than he is because he's really going to have like ownership over like stand-up comedy. I mean, especially with that club. And I mean, if that does well, which it will, why wouldn't he open up other spots around the US doing the same thing,
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know how much more famous he can get. He already has the biggest streaming podcast or radio show. Like his podcast gets like 50 times more views than CNN and Fox's newscasts. Like he is like millions and millions of downloads every episode.
I want to sound like a total dumbass podcaster and say, if he were to run for president, he would win because he probably would. But no way in fuck would he ever take that job. Just the kind of guy he is.
Right.
Like, if you were to ask him that on his podcast, he'd be like, why in the fuck would I want to do that? That is like, why would I want to waste, basically, as soon as you're president, your life sucks from like that point forward.
Well, people
obviously there's cool shit that you can do, but that's, like, I wouldn't want to be president. Like, why would I want that pressure, dude?
It's like the movie The Gladiator with Russell Crowe. It's like the reason why he deserves to be the king of Rome is because he doesn't want to be.
Yeah.
Problem is, if you don't want to be, you never get into that position. But that's what we need to do is we need to find somebody that doesn't want to do the job. They're probably the best person for the job. Those people that want the job are fucking narcissists, crazy egomaniac assholes that just want to get us into World War III type shit, But
I don't think he's old enough to be president, but I think when he's of age, we should get Jonah Hill to run because according to Kanye West, like he can just change your life overnight, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He could save this nation overnight with his Jewishness.
I think you only have to be 35. He's probably 35, I think.
What, 35% Jew?
Yeah, no, 35 years old.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. 35% Jew. Yep. Yeah, people have asked Rogan if he wants to be president before. I think he just said no. Like, I have no interest in that. Why would I want to do that? I do everything I want to do. He does literally
get to the point where it's like, why would you sacrifice what you're doing now just to like maybe make the world better, in which case you might get like assassinated or something. Like, it just sucks.
It's a tough job. I don't even know if you can. And it's the craziest job on earth if you think about it, right? Because you basically, I mean, with the checks and you're the leader of the executive branch of government in the United States, and they call you the leader of the free world. You know, you have the power to veto bills. You have the power to go to war. You have you have your finger on the button that launches nuclear weapons, essentially. I know that there's more to it than that, but you're basically one of the most powerful people on earth, and you get that job not out of any credentials, not out of experience, just out of a popularity contest. And you only do it for 4 years. So by the time you actually get it down, it's time for a new one. Like, how long does it take to become good at a job? It takes at least a couple years to like get the flow of things. You just go in there and it's like, well, the presidents always promise things and they never can execute them while they're in office. It's like, yeah, no shit. It takes a long time, you know? And then 4 years is like a blip. So can't get anything done. And then they immediately, as soon as you're elected, half the country hates you automatically, no matter what side you're on. So you already have half the population hates you, just like that. It's wild.
Wouldn't that be kind of like a Canada situation? Isn't the prime minister kind of like an old comedian, or is that Ukraine? I don't even remember anymore. Who's the old comedian?
Well, yeah, Ukraine, the president in quotes of Ukraine. Yeah, Vladimir Zelensky. He was a comedian. He actually played the piano with his dick on stage a few years ago.
That's what it was. I always remember whenever we bring him up, you bring up that story. I can never remember it, let alone his freaking name.
Yeah, it reminds me of like Zelensky Auto Parts from Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy, yeah.
Yeah.
Brake pads.
Yeah, brake pads. Because that's what I am and that's what I care about.
Would you stick your head up the cow's ass or... hold on.
Screw it up. You get a good look at a T-bone if you stick your head up a bull's ass.
I'd rather ask the...
Butcher.
Cook?
Take his word for it.
Butcher, that's what it was. Yeah.
Bull's ass.
Yo, you see the trailer for Quasi, the new Broken Lizard movie?
I thought you were going to say Quasimodo, the new Hunchback of Notre Dame movie, and it's like real CGI with like a guy that's all fucked up looking. That's what I was picturing in my head.
Well, I mean, that's what it is. It's one of the guys is Quasimodo, but it takes place back in the day, but it's like the guys from Super Troopers and Beer Fest. It's all those guys.
Oh, really? And it's a comedy movie?
Yeah, trailer just came out a couple days ago. I'm a big Broken Lizard fan. I mean, even
what is Broken Lizard?
What was the other one?
Enlighten
like
me.
Waiters. They had like a waiting movie, and
Waiting?
Beer Fest was good. Yeah.
Wait, so what is Quasi? What is it?
It's the guy's name is Stephen H, whatever, that's the guy's actual name, but he's like Quasimodo, and I don't know, it's just like takes place during like the, I don't know, Renaissance, or I don't know what the fuck it is. They like live out in this castle like out in the middle of nowhere, and it's all like little peasants and like kings and queens and all that bullshit. What? So it looks pretty cool.
Who's playing Quasimodo?
The guy, you remember from Super Troopers, the guy that puts on the metal cup and they're shooting at him and they shoot him in the cup?
Yeah, he's Quasimodo.
It's that guy. He's Quasimodo.
That's hilarious. I thought you were gonna say the
not the fat guy.
The he's not black, but what is he? He's like dark skinned.
Oh no, I said fat. No, J whatever his last name is. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He's directing it. He directs all those movies.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I like he plays like the homeless guy in was it Beer Fest, and they have to like go get
Beer
him.
Fest, yeah.
And he's like doing quarters off the guy's hood of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's talking to Farva about his name isn't Farva in the movie, but he's like, or ZJ, and he goes, "What's a ZJ?" And he goes, "If you don't know what a ZJ is, you can't afford it, honey." Yeah. He's like the male prostitute.
Yeah. Hilarious.
But it's and then they had that show Tacoma FD, so where like a couple of those guys are on I don't even like TBS, or I don't even remember the freaking TV channel it's actually on, but like they're a part of the fire department, so they've got a couple of seasons of that. I've seen a couple episodes, but there's a couple people from that show that are in the Quasi movie, so they're just kind of like expanding their group of people that they work with, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Quasi will be cool. And
Quasi.
I don't know. I like those movies. Beer Fest.
wild.
I've seen Beer Fest so many times. That's one of the movies that if I sit down and be like, all right, I'll have it on in the background.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I'm watching the whole goddamn thing because it's just like the whole thing is
stupid.
gold, dude.
It's great.
So good.
It's the dumbest, funniest movie. Yeah. It's like, it's just, and then that guy dies and then comes back with his twin brother, but they just call him the original guy's name. They'll make it easier. We're
Is
just
that
going
not
to call
the
you
most
that.
brilliant thing in the world, dude? Are you kidding me?
And he's like, well, what was his name in the movie? The character's name?
Landfill.
Yeah, that's right. Landfill. It's like, hey, Landfill told me all about you guys, and I pretty much am familiar with you, so it'd be easier just if you call me Landfill. Like, it's just.
And then he's fucking his wife, and he goes, "Wow, you're way bigger than Landfill." It's like Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
Even how Landfill dies in that giant tank of beer when he gets pushed in from the top.
He's trying to drink his way out.
He's got his arms out to his side. He's just like, it's like, what? Are you kidding me? That is so fucking. Whoever thought of that, man, they should get a fucking medal. God damn.
You see the beer level going down just a little bit at a time. Like he's actually gonna drink himself out of it. It's crazy.
The little spiral coming down. Yeah, dude. You think he's gonna be able to save himself? That's funny, man.
Oh Christ! What a movie. And then they had the teaser for Weed Fest at the end, and they never made that. Remember?
Yeah, they kind of.
That would have not been good.
No, that would have been kind of stupid. I'm kind of glad that they don't. I mean, even Super Troopers 2 was like okay, but I mean, to the first one is so nostalgic, dude.
I never even saw the second one because I was like, that was just like a few years ago, right? They what's it called? When you get crowdfunded, they crowdfunded that, right?
Yeah, they did like a GoFundMe or something.
Yeah, because the fans wanted a second one. I was like, didn't it take place in Vermont or something, like near the border? Well, near the border of Canada, and don't they have to like talk to the Mounties or whatever?
Yeah, so it came out 2018, but so what happens is they discover that the map was wrong and that they take over a portion. So this area is the United States, but it used to be Canada, so now they're U.S. citizens and they're like in charge of like that stretch of highway or like their police. I don't really remember, but it's one of those situations. But it's the best part of that whole movie. I won't give away any hints or whatever, but Farva's sitting there and he has M&Ms and he's just swallowing them without chewing them. and then the guy's like, he's like, Farva, you don't chew your M&Ms? And he goes, they're all going in the same place. And then later on in the movie, he's like, somebody gives him like aspirin or something that you're supposed to swallow, and he like chews it up, and then he swallows it, and he's like, you're a fucking animal, dude. It's like just like that little shit. Like I appreciate so much because like somebody just thought like, all right, maybe that would be funny, and they film it, and it's like to me like that's what I remember from the whole movie is him swallowing M&Ms and like and not even chewing them. I thought that's just like that describes Farva like to a T.
What's the point? It's just like taking pills at that point.
Yeah, but it's like even in the first one when he snaps at the burger joint and he like hops the counter and he's like beating the shit out of the guy on the other side of the counter.
Yeah. I don't want a goddamn large Farva.
Can I get a liter of cola?
Get a large Farva?
Oh man, I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, it's good. Speaking of actors, dude, do you ever like do you ever watch something and then be like, I wonder how old they were in this? And then you go and look at the actor's birthday and you do a little math and be like, damn, they were 34 when they filmed this movie. And then you compare it to your own life and you're like, fuck, this is like the 5th movie they were in and they were only 34 years old and I'm 30 now. What have I done with my life? You ever do that? Is that just me?
Sometimes. Yeah. Why? Who are you thinking of?
We were just like looking at Bruce Willis in Pulp Fiction and I'm like, I wonder how old he was in this movie. And he was like late 30s when they filmed it. And I was like, damn, Bruce Willis was in his late 30s in Pulp Fiction. And I'm like, he's just a few years older than I am now. And then I started thinking like, damn, he was in Die Hard like 20 years before that. Like he was, I don't know.
Yeah, but that's comparing yourself like if you're an actor, like why are you comparing yourself to, I mean, you can compare yourself to like an architect that designs buildings and by 35 they designed the new Empire State Building. But if you're not an architect, why would you compare it to him like that lifestyle,
Well, I'm a salesman. There's no real record of the best salesman on earth. So I can't really look at the ledger and compare, I guess. I don't know. I like to think of myself as somebody that is involved in show business in some sort of way, whether it's music or podcasting or whatever. So it's just weird when you see, and then even like I've always pondered the idea of trying to do stand up, and I've always pussied out, but I've been thinking about it more and more. But I'm just like, it takes so long to become good at stand-up. And a lot of people are probably thinking like, oh, I'm not even funny, but whatever.
Cunts.
And then if I start now, I'll probably be good by the time I'm 40, you know? It's like, fuck, kind of missed the window to start early. But I guess you have to start now, because if you don't start now, just time is fleeting, man. Not to get serious or anything. I used to do it when I was like big into making music all the time. I'd be like, well, Kanye didn't really come out with College Dropout till he was almost 30, so I got a few years. You know, Eminem wasn't famous until he was 25. I got a few years, you know. For like the past
I think
decade.
you're looking at this the wrong way, man. I mean, how many albums? Okay, how many albums and how many songs do you think you've made and put out? And then same question, but how many have you not put out? Because I think you've put in. You're making it sound like you're like. The problem is, I see a lot of these fuckers on Facebook, and they're like, "Oh, I'm making music, my life sucks, blah, blah, whatever," and they're just like little pussies, and they don't post shit, and they just complain. That's all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Whereas like I know just the stuff you do for me, like that's on the side. I know the amount of albums and the shit that you've put on SoundCloud and the shit you've put on Spotify and like the shit that I've had like on my computer and like the projects I've seen you work on since like basically since I've known you. I mean, we met when we were in high school, and really after high school, at least for me, I feel like that's when you really picked it up.
Yeah.
I mean, even when we did that project, we did a project with Matt back in 2015, and you did that whole thing yourself, dude. Like
Yeah.
that was probably project number 9 at the time, you know, and that's like 10 years. That's like 8 years ago, dude. Like you've done a lot of fucking, like not to fucking suck your big toe or nothing, but you've put in a lot of time, man. So don't think that you're just a salesman by any means.
Suck it harder, dirty.
The way I see it is like if I had to give you a description, I'd give you you're like an audio expert.
Not even close, man.
That's what I'm saying, but I mean,
close.
even the podcast stuff, the quality that you put into these podcasts. I mean, you've said it yourself. Where compared like quality wise, we are very high quality. Like maybe the content isn't there, but like the technical shit and all that stuff, and like what you put into the intros and then like the little outtakes and we used to do the no context, which we're probably not going to do anymore. But
Oh yeah, we didn't tell anybody. We should have talked a little inside baseball.
Drop it.
Oh, drop the news. By the way, folks, this is a CPS exclusive.
This is a CBS News exclusive.
Yeah, we're not doing the no context anymore. It had no traffic at all whatsoever. And I mean, a little bit here and there, a couple views here and there, but it's just the shorts and the promos and the actual podcast themselves seem to be what's driving views to the channel. So, yeah, I'm just going to focus on promo clips. And the no context takes me like forever to cut that shit out every week, and it's just not worth the effort. If I could put that effort into other shit, you know? So
you know what the no context was to us? It was the vanity plate on your trucked out Hummer. Like the Hummer itself, like that's the episode, and like that's cool. But not a lot of people notice the fucking vanity plate, and those who do were like, yeah, I don't really fucking care.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, we thought it was cool. It was cool for us.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty neat. I mean, especially, I mean, I could tell the amount of effort. I mean, out of everything, that probably took the most like focused effort to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but
yeah. Well, there's no way to do it without listening through the entire podcast again, and then chopping, and then, you know, taking things out.
If that saves you a couple hours a week, dude, like, fuck yeah.
It does. It does. For sure. We don't spend too much time, but
it's working smarter, not harder, man. Because I mean, if you're putting 2 hours of that into a week, like just making that, and it gets 25 views after 2 months, like what's the fucking point?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas these fucking promos, you can crank out 3 of those a week, and all of a sudden, boom, we get 1,000 views a week just off those 3 promos. You know?
Right? Yeah,
I'll take that.
Yeah, buddy. Let's just grow that fan base. Tell your friends, creamers. Tell your friends. Spread the good word.
I will say though, the promo for today totally bombed. 100%.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
It's horrific. It's I'm looking at it. It's got no views. Not a single. I didn't even open it up and watch it myself.
Well,
oh my god.
Well, it's early in the day. We just posted it. You know, give it time. Maybe it'll pick up. Might hit that algo, that sweet algo, that sweet algo. We'll see.
No, I have those premiere at midnight, and I'll basically know what the numbers are going to be by the time I wake up, because I'll open it up at 9 o'clock in the morning. If it has 600 views, I'm like, all right, this will round out around 1,000 or whatever. But yeah, it's at
100 million.
Jesus Christ. Well, don't
I
tell
thought
the
that was a
people
good
that.
one too. I
Don't
thought that
tell
was a
the
good one, man.
creamers. They're gonna be like, "What
Maybe you
type of
should-
fucking shit show is this? I'm not gonna listen to this anymore."
Well, how about every time I give the number, you bleep it out so they don't know?
Yeah, it only got
100 million.
views. It only got views. It only got there'll be some nerd out there that's saying, based on the length of the crow, it takes about this long to say the word.
100 million.
So
We start getting reaction videos. Fucking pricks.
yeah, their reaction videos to our failed podcast get more views than our actual podcast.
Yo, so how is life after 30 now that we're both over the hump? You know, how do you feel?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel trying to feel as optimistic as I can. You know, I wish I could go back in time and do things a little bit differently, but who doesn't? You know, you live and you learn. The cool thing is, starting a new decade in your life, it kind of does feel like a new chapter in a way, even though it's just a number. It doesn't mean much, but I'm hoping my 30s are yeah, we're on the climb up, baby. Yeah. What about you?
I don't know. I mean, I lost power that week, which sucked, and then I was just like, last week of work sucked. So
Yeah.
it's just like I was a little overwhelmed. I got home Friday and I was like, fuck it. And yeah, I came home Friday on lunch to let the dogs out, and I saw Spalding rip apart one of Emily's books. So there was like pages and all this bullshit, and we were supposed to go see The Whale Friday in the movie theater, and I just didn't feel like it. And I think that I kind of got to the point where it's like, I'm old enough to the point that I don't need to really go out and do things if I can just stay home and pay $5 to watch it, you know? But
Yeah, dude.
I'm ready to put in the work. I think you and me got the best years ahead of us for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, at least I hope you do. I don't think we've accomplished what we wanted to do yet, but I think we'll get there. So
We'll get there. We got a logo designed by you, by the way. We have officially a cream pie Sundae logo, and maybe in the future we'll have a little bit of merch. But yeah, and we've been talking too. We've been scheming. We got some good stuff planned for all the creamers out there, and it'll definitely help with our YouTube stuff. You know, getting into videos and stuff. So fucking creaming it up, big time, folks, big time cream.
yeah, after the soda, we'll talk a little bit about the video stuff because I mean, I can basically start filming. I was thinking about filming myself today just to do it, but I don't really want to. But yeah, we'll talk about that after the pod.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get the steps going for that, because I would love to do like maybe a green screen behind us and then have like snow, like ice cream sundaes like just falling from the sky.
Yeah.
As there's like apocalyptic like demons on horses like whipping like gingerbread man and shit, and I don't know. We'll see where my mind takes me.
You're gonna get mad at me one week or something, and then you're gonna put all swastikas behind my green screen on the video. I get a big arrow that says this guy hates insert group name here. But,
And then I'll have Kanye West and Jonah Hill behind me on like two like angels, and they're eating Girl Scout cookies, just like
like two cherubs behind you. Yeah,
naked little fucking Jonah Hills.
That's great.
Yeah, man. I think when we get to that point, we start filming ourselves. I'm just gonna have fun with it and just kind of like make the most random shit. And I mean, I'm not gonna put all sorts of effort into it, but I think that's the thing. Like when we get to starting a new project or like starting a new aspect of this whole podcast shit, I think the fact that you don't just like send me something and be like, this is what I'm thinking. Like you send me something like fully mixed, all the effects, like, oh, here's the new guitar, like even the birthday bonanza shit. You fucking grabbed that and ran with it, dude. I'm like, I had Sam over and I'm like, and I told him like, all right, so this is a 25-second clip. Haven't heard this yet. And he goes, happy birthday. It's like, and I'm fucking laughing my ass off. It's like, it's not the fact that you made it, but it's the fact that you made it very well. And I think that's the difference, dude. Like it just, I don't know. I love the production, dude. Like you really put the cherry on top. And I think that's what makes the difference. The gold standard.
Really sucking that big toe this week. You hear that, folks? I'm the greatest producer to ever live. Suck my fucking tits.
I'm a lyrical genius. I'm the voice of a generation.
Yeah. Oh man, we watched Fish Sticks. I've been showing Lita all the classic South Park episodes that she might not have seen, and we watched Fish Sticks yesterday too. Actually, funny.
How'd you watch that? Was it on streaming?
It's on HBO. Yeah, every episode of South Park's on HBO.
Even the new ones?
Yep, even the new ones.
I haven't seen any of the new season yet.
What? Oh,
yeah,
dude,
it's kind of blowing my mind. This is actually the first. Now to think about this, since I first started watching South Park in elementary school,
yeah,
this is the longest I have not watched the brand new episode. I used to watch that religiously every Wednesday night, dude.
Dude, you're missing out. The ChatGPT episode, fucking fire.
Yeah.
I loved it. And it's not, the whole thing's not written by ChatGPT, but a lot of it is, and you can tell.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty funny.
Just like the jokes and stuff are just like so random and just so like calculated.
Yeah. Did you see the ChatGPT episode? You haven't seen any of them, huh?
I haven't seen any. I watched a little bit of the Butters and Cartman working at the ice cream shop. That was pretty ridiculous. I watched like a 3-minute clip from that, but yeah, I haven't seen an actual episode yet.
Dickenbaus?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Cartman starts his own hot dog stand, calls it Dickenbaus.
Had a creamy day.
Yeah. We saw that shit, and I was like, God damn it, they're ripping us off. South Park's copying the boys. Yeah, we should, I wonder what the rules are. I mean, South Park would be pretty shitty to get pissed if we use something, because they kind of do whatever they want. But I wonder if we can take that and use that as like a drop. Have a creamy day, Butter's saying that, you know?
I mean, think about like, so say a radio station could use that. Have a creamy day. Bwah, 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 bwah.
Yeah. I wonder what, I think, because I've looked this law up so many times, I think that technically it's owned by Comedy Central, so they could flag it, even though it's just a small clip. But yeah, it all depends, man. I used to think, well, if you do up to this many seconds, you're good, but that's not true. I think they just own it outright. But parody law, you can parody it yourself as long as it's obvious that you're making fun of it. Then it's legal. That's why like Weird Al can do whatever he wants for like remaking songs. It's parody law, you know?
So how come, because the radio station that I listened to growing up, they would have the clips from Fight Club. So the sticking feathers up your butt do not make you a chicken. That was part of like coming out of a commercial. They would play that and then the guy would say something and then a song would play. So
interesting.
Is it kind of, is the radio station thing kind of the same as podcast? Because I mean, they would have movie quotes. I mean, even, was it Blades of Glory? I hear that quoted all the time on Rock 101. Like whenever I listen to the radio like twice a year, and every time I hear it, like I hear the same movie quotes and shit from like over a decade ago.
Interesting, dude. I don't know. I have to look that up because maybe it falls into a different category because technically we're streaming, right? Because we're on YouTube and YouTube has their own rules. Every streaming platform we put our podcast on has its own rules, like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I'm sure they all have their own terms of service or whatever. So probably depends. But, and I don't know what the law is either. So let me look into it. Because if it is classified as a radio show and not, I don't know. I really don't know.
So comparatively, compared it to the Joe Rogan podcast, when they're sitting there and they got the TV in the back of the room and they're pulling up YouTube videos and they're pulling up music videos and they're listening to music and they're saying, all right, listen to this part of the song, and they play it or they watch a newscast.
I do know.
How does that work?
If you're commenting on content that already exists as a commentary and not trying to republish the content as your own, it's good. Like you can do like a video about another person's YouTube video and have like a small window with their YouTube video playing and be like doing like a reaction video, for example. Yeah. That's totally legal because the content you're doing is a reaction to other content. Or like news is always like free use. Like you can like, hey, well, this is a clip from CNN and you can share it and be like, well, this is what I think about it, you know? So maybe that's how they get away with it. There's got to be some sort of loophole, dude. To anybody out there that knows the actual law, we probably sound stupid, but.
I mean, say you were to put the, like, have a creamy day, like put that in like the intro or something. Nobody would ever catch that. Even if you like put an effect on it, nobody would ever know. I mean, so much stuff gets sampled without actually clearing anything. I mean, I fucking, oh my God, this really pissed me off a couple weeks ago. Yeah. So I uploaded that video of me and Sam doing the Warhammer shit, and I literally typed in Google or YouTube copyright free, like, I don't know, like whatever music. Yeah. And I got a couple songs, all from the same video. Like it was like 20, I don't know, it was like 20 songs, and they're all a couple minutes long. And I put those in there, and they said, all you have to do is just give us credit in the details, and you're fine. So I did that. And then I get flagged 3 times on YouTube. Yeah. And it's like, oh, well, these 3 are copyrighted. I'm like, what the fuck? Like in the title, it says copyright free music. And I'm like, I'm not even going to dispute this because if I lose the dispute, then they're going to take the video down. That's like, so I went on the video. I'm like, all right, this is a hawk of shit. Like I went on here for free music and I got flagged and like, thank you. I appreciate it. You know,
that's what Well, that's YouTube, dude. I think that's YouTube's problem. Because YouTube, if there's another video on YouTube that did the same thing you did, YouTube assumes that that's the original content. You know what I mean?
This next one's gonna blow your mind. So I did. So Friday I put out the me talking about my last music video, Your Disease, and it was just me recording the microphone that I'm using right now, and then the background audio was just the beat, very quiet, just playing in the background. So I uploaded that to YouTube, and that got flagged. And I'm like, okay, let's see what this is, because I'm like, this is an original beat. I paid somebody to make this for me. Like, as far as I know, there's no samples, there's no nothing. I click on the details for the copyright dispute, and it says, here's the link, and it brings me to the YouTube video. It's just 89 BPM. That's the title of it, and it's just. It's like a 10-minute video of that. It's just the rhythm. It's the beats per minute.
It's like, the metronome.
It's the fucking metronome. And then I'm looking at it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I got flagged
for a metronome.
For a metronome, and I disputed it and then went away. But I'm like sitting there looking at it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, how does that make any goddamn sense in the world?
It's just like,
it's like, are you kidding me? And it's not even like the song like plays that over and over again. Like, that's just the beat to the song. And it's like, that is so weird, dude.
That's dumb. It's got to be like an issue with whatever their automated system is to try and catch that stuff, you know?
I was seeing red when I saw the copyright and I click it and I'm like, that's the dumbest thing. I mean, I disputed it and it went away right away, but it's like, that is just so dumb.
Yeah.
Like, why is it like that?
Yeah. It's pretty silly, dude. Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
They got to try. I mean, that's a giant platform that hundreds of hours of content gets uploaded every, 5 minutes. And so they got too much content to deal with. So they have to, defer to some sort of automated process that tries to find that shit. Sometimes wacky things happen. That's the best they can do, because they got to try and stay within the realm of legality, I guess, when it comes to original content. And they want to make sure people aren't getting ripped off and people aren't stealing their shit too. So I get it. But yeah, it's a pain in the ass. It's stupid.
Hey, I have a quote for you for YouTube.
A quote?
So as of June 2022, more than 500 hours of video were uploaded to YouTube every minute. That equates to approximately 30,000 hours of newly uploaded content per hour.
Jesus. Way more
than
that was
thought. That was middle of last year, dude. They were cranking out 30,000 hours per hour.
That's wild.
That's not like just like people uploading like 10-hour long videos. These are like 25 seconds, 3 minutes. Like, holy shit, dude.
30,000 hours divided by 24 is 1,250 days worth of content.
Per hour.
Per hour, which is 3 years. 3 years of content gets uploaded in an hour.
Holy I was wondering, like, my brain is kind of weird. Sometimes I think about like the whole Joe Rogan thing and how many podcasts he has. It's like, all right, if you were to spend 8 hours, like, and then I start breaking down the formula in my head, it's like, all right, if I were to listen to Joe Rogan for 8 hours a day, how long would it take me to catch up? But if he's putting out, he
puts out 8 hours a week.
3 hours every other day, and then that's setting me back half the time. Like, how long would it take me to catch up? I don't think I could catch up in my lifetime of the amount of Joe Rogan podcasts. And if I were to watch, 8 hours a day.
I started listening to Rogan a few years ago. I think probably 7 or 8 years ago, because it was a long time ago. And I've listened to pretty much all of it throughout, so I don't have to worry about catching up. I probably didn't listen to the first few hundred episodes or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, each episode could be 2 to 4 hours, usually around 3, sometimes more than 4, occasionally. But if you do that 3 times a week, that's 10 hours a week.
That's bananas. Yeah, I mean, I'll go back and, I'll watch certain ones. Like, I've seen like the Quentin Tarantino, and I like the one that he did with like John Bernthal. And whoever like I actually give a shit. Like, he did one with Be Real not too long ago. I thought that was really cool. I watch all the ones that I want to watch. But if it's some fucking pharmacist out of like the Southern America, like, I'm not going to watch that.
Well, dude,
I don't really
occasionally, but that's what's cool is if you only listen to the guys that or I'm a fan of that guy, let me listen to the podcast. That's cool and everything, but sometimes it'll be somebody you have no idea who they are, and then like 30 minutes in, you're like, holy shit, this is the most interesting person I've ever heard. Yeah. So it kind of turns you on to new people too. Like David Sinclair was a big one for me a few years ago. He's like an anti-aging expert scientist. He's like 60, but he looks like he's 30, and he takes a bunch of stuff, and the whole episode is about preventing aging. I'm like, this is the most interesting shit I've ever heard. It's super cool. So occasionally you get a guy like that, or like he turned me on to a lot of people like Cameron Haynes. Even what's his name? Stay Hard.
I mean, the big one for me is probably David Goggins. I had no idea who he was until I watched the podcast, and then all of a sudden, I mean, back in the day when I used to live off motivational videos because I felt like a piece of shit all the time. Yep. I mean, you watch David Goggins and and it's audio from the podcast. You know, that's what you find. And then, I mean, hell, now I've got one of his books next to my bed. I've read one of his books last year. I've watched all his videos, and I mean, it's that's all because of a fucking podcast, dude. Just because I watched, you know, whatever the first time so many years ago. It's kind of silly. It's kind of cool.
It is cool, but like you know, you listen for that every once in a while. You get lucky, get turned on to something. So yeah, I always read the description like this person is this, and like okay, well that might interest me, you know.
Yeah. It's usually I don't really care what they do. It's more or less what they're going to talk about. But yeah. I mean, I've definitely I have seen a couple with people that I had no idea, and I listened to it, and it's like, that's pretty cool. But
I got big into like during the whole COVID thing when he kept having like COVID experts on, and they were talking about the narrative and what they were pushing, the pharmaceutical industry versus, and that whole big thing when they said he took horse dewormer, CNN, and they changed the filter on his face to make him look sick, and it was crazy. It was like, dude, how fucking stupid do these people think we are? I was big like following that closely, and I was pumped. We had like Robert Malone on, and wow, what a fucking ride. The JRE during COVID was it's a ride, dude.
Yeah.
People were getting sick of it. They're like, every episode's about COVID now. I'm like, dude, this is kind of what's happening in the world though. And it's kind of interesting to hear another perspective from people that, like Robert Malone, man, and the COVID stuff still gets censored big time. So if anything's going to demonetize us in this episode, it's going to be this right here. So I guess I'll leave it at that. But yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
I mean, we do bring up the Nazi regime at least weekly, so.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
That's all good,
fine.
baby.
Yeah. You can't say anything about vaccines. The vaccines are safe and effective, everybody, and they work great, and they've always worked great, and we recommend that you and your kids all take them 1,000,000 times. Okay, we're good. Covered my ass there.
Sponsored by Sizer.
Sizer.
We can't say their name, otherwise we get fucking sued.
Yeah. Oh, man. Man, oh, man.
All right, man. Well, this has been a pretty creamy hour, man. I'm ready to go, like, get this lactate acid out of my legs and do some creamy stretching, and I think this is a good sode, man.
It's a good solid sode, a little bit goofy. We cover some good topics, and you know, last week we got a little serious about some race stuff, but you know, every once in a while you got to talk about what you feel, Daddy-O, and we love everybody, and we hope everybody stays creamy, and you heard it here first. Thank you for another beautiful, creamy hour of sweet, milky delight from the boys and Cream Pie Nation, and I'm kind of a little bit rambling here. Rick, got anything you want to plug there, guy, other than my ass here?
Oh, I just realized that I got to play some Twisted Metal 4 after this, do some filming, and that'll be a good time. But yeah, when life gives you a Sundae, just be the cherry on top. That's all I got to do.
Stay creamy, everybody. See you next week.
Deuces.